Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and pictured digitally on your screen is every gym producer, Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey everybody, happy draft
And
day.
we are happy draft day. We are going back to school, Wisconsin Badgers 2026-2027, sustaining success. Jeff, this is part 16, and we've been doing this now for over half a year, as hard as that is to believe.
Yep, and somewhat successfully, I guess. Haven't won a championship, won a couple of conference tournaments. But we're kind of in a rough spot now because we had some major departures. One in, I can show you the transaction log. The big one leaving was Macklin Celebrini, who's, we actually got 2 seasons out of him, so I shouldn't complain too much. It's one more than I really expected. But he was our captain, easily our best player, and he's up with the Flyers now.
Funny how that works.
So what we've done is actually we've got a couple of freshmen who are kind of carrying it for us so far this year. Mason St. Louis, who is Marty St. Louis' son, and in real life I think he's about 15 years old right now, just kind of getting his career started. And we also got another guy, older recruit from Quebec, Leo Saint Michel. Should know say that we started this game with a really early version of the database, and there were some oddities in the way that I had the player generation set up, and that affected the recruiting. So we've got, I think we're past it now, but for a couple of years we were getting a lot of Canadian players, and not so many American players generated. Should be getting a little bit better now. But for that first couple of year period, we wound up with some guys that normally wouldn't make it into the, probably wouldn't be going into the NCAA player pool. As this guy, you can see, Sam Michel has actually played a year Canadian university hockey. And oh yeah, I was going to check on that. I've got to see something about the year he starts and when they do that, because he started as a freshman. He really shouldn't be doing that, but anyhow, he's Saint Michel and Saint Louis have been carrying us so far, putting up a ton of points. We've also had our very good goaltending. Elias, who was supposed to be the starter last year, or actually no, 2 years ago, and couldn't qualify academically, so we redshirted him, took a chance that he would be able to come back. It turned out he did get his academic stuff together. Had a pretty good year last year, but Rivera's the guy who wound up replacing him in his missed season. Played him a little better than him last year, even though I think he was, for most of the year, he was at 3 stars in ability, so he was a little bit behind Elias. But now they're about even, so I've been giving Elias most of the starts, and he's done a little bit better than Rivera so far. But if we lose a goalie this year, we got no real problems replacing him. And we've got a potential 4.5-star guy, Nathan Cam, who hasn't played a game yet. He redshirted last year. And offensively, it's a little thinner than it's been for the past couple of seasons, but it's still pretty good compared to what else is in the conference. San Luis, I mentioned Gosik, who I moved over from the left wing, put him in the center, and he seems to be doing pretty well there.
That's good.
A few other nobody. Epperson, who's I think a senior, junior this year, having a pretty solid year. So we've had enough depth that we've been able to get through this little problem with losing guys that we'd rather not lose, and then of course the graduation. And speaking of graduating, this is what we're going to lose this year. Buveris, one of the goalies. We'll still have Elias for another year. Liam Chapman, who's finally playing full-time for us in his senior year. Buckberger, who's been a pretty solid defenseman. Mellenbacher, who's been up and down. He had a big sophomore year, had a really disappointing junior year, and is not doing great this year. His development seems to have tailed off. And Novak, who's basically just been a spare part, solid third-line winger for the last little while. So I will just get back with the games. I think nobody injured.
Giwag would like to know how Toledo is doing in the ECHL.
Toledo, the ECHL. Hang on.
Yes. He also says, "Go Wings,"
He always
and
says that.
he is a little bit disappointed that the Wings didn't make a trade tonight. So if you're watching this on our YouTube archive, we're currently streaming as the draft is going on right now.
And there's Toledo, not off to a great start in the ECHL, 3-5-1. Ashton Sotner, I think that's a Canucks cast-off, if I remember right.
Ashton Shaunter, yeah, he's currently with the Jets
Oh, you guys have him now?
in real life. Yes,
Yeah, 32
playing with
years
the
old in
Moose.
this, and
In fact, if I remember correct, he just actually signed a contract extension.
yeah, but this one he's dropped down to a couple. Well, he's actually in the SPCHL, so he's last 2-3 years, so he's bounced up a league and seems to be doing okay in the ECHL. But anyhow, let's get back to our games and Arizona State tonight. I keep going with Elias as the starter, but I'll give Rivera's game 2. And 2-1 win. Kind of close, but we'll take it. And I'm not sure what our national ranking is. We'll get the email on that in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Or
So
possibly
as a draft's going on, Jeff, how are you feeling about the Canucks pick of William Nylander?
Tom Willander.
Oh, Tom Willander. Oh, my bad.
We already had like two.
Actually,
Yeah.
when my phone went off, I swore it said Canucks get Nylander, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
But yeah,
And
no,
then I
pretty
looked
happy
and
with
it
it. I
was-
mean, I think he projects as a sort of Nicholas Kronwall type of player, only maybe a little more physical. He's apparently a Canucks fan, smart kid going to Boston University, so seems like a really solid pick. The only thing I'd maybe like is if he had, if they could talk him into playing junior instead of college hockey and get 30 extra games this year out of him. That'd probably help his development. And we are ranked third in the country at the moment, playing game 2 against Arizona State.
Quinton Musty just went to San Jose at 26, and Callum Ritchie went to Colorado at 27.
And we drop a game, 2-1. Bruveris loses it against Arizona State. Not great.
P-Wog, I did get your message. Sorry, I didn't really have too much time to respond. It's been a bit of a hectic last little bit. P-Wog was just saying was kind of wishing he was getting the Sportsnet feed for the draft because he was not overly thrilled with what he was seeing for ESPN.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
This is what today's draft looked like in the game. Keep in mind that this was a database that was from the September-ish, so kind of reflects the way the draft is expected to go then. Bedard average on top. Michkov winds up going second overall to the Oilers, and looks like he finally came over this season at 21, and he's doing okay for them. Musty was just picked, was actually the 5th overall. Where is Carlson, number 2 overall, is only at 22. I think I upgraded him quite a bit at midseason, although I still don't like him as the number 1 or number 2 pick in real life. I would have gone for Fantilli there. And the Flyers got a huge bargain getting Michkov at 7. And there's your guy Barlow is at Barlow went 52nd overall in this. The guy the Jets picked in real life tonight, and then he had a pretty good start to his NHL career. He's on his 3rd full season already at 21.
Did he have 46 goals in his draft year, though?
No, he did not.
Was he named captain in his draft year? Probably not.
He had 8 goals. It is, a year after his draft year.
Oh, if he has 8 goals this next year, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I think that's another one I upgraded as the season went along.
Well, he changed. I mean, that's what you hope from 17-year-olds. I mean, it's tough to project.
Yeah, but I mean, it probably is one of the top 3 or 4 best pure goal scorers in the draft. So you're going to get offense out of him. We'll see if you can teach him to play D, or because he's got a bit of a hole to fill now.
Well, that's what they got IFL for. So
yeah, I mean that's pretty good trade depth wise for the Jets, I think.
yeah, okay. So if you're somehow stuck under a rock and didn't see this, the Winnipeg Jets traded Pierre-Luc Dubois, who had told them he wasn't really planning on re-signing with them, to LA for IFLO Gabe Vildari, former stream champion Gabe Villari, Sami Kupari, and Montreal's second round pick next year.
So 3 guys will be full-time players next year for the Jets, and second round pick that could work. Hopefully will work out for them. But no, I think they're a better team coming out of that. And
Northern Sky in our one chat says Jets got a good package back. I think so.
Yeah.
Kupari again was like 55% on the faceoffs or something, which is desperately what Winnipeg needs anyways. So.
And I think you guys got rid of a little baggage in the locker room too. So.
No, we'll see if they keep
any of the
sending
incoming
more
guys.
Keep sending more out. I don't know. They've also Chevy was kind of diplomatic on whether or not Scheifele or Hellebuck would actually get moved.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be hard to replace Hellebuck. And again,
yes and no, but I mean, like, goalies aren't worth a lot in trade. So they're worth probably a little bit more sending him now rather than later. But I said I would 100% be okay with them trading him and then trying to bring back Laurent Boissat and running him at home.
yeah,
That's
if
what
you
they
can
needed to
handle
do.
a full season. I'd want a good backup if you did that, though.
Well, I know, but I don't have a problem with Holm. Or they have that other what's his name? Is he a Finnish or Swedish goalie they signed as an undrafted guy who played in the AHL last year too?
Down to 4th in the pool right now, so that one loss cost us a little bit. Is Arizona State even in the? No, they're not ranked nationally. Clarkson still undefeated at 8-0 is number 1. Monthly budget.
Oscar Salomaki.
More, I think. Yeah.
Or no, Oscar Salmonen.
And Minnesota's actually, well, they're 2 points up on us, but we've got 2 games in hand, so I think we can get that back. I think we went with a little bit more conservative set of tactics this year, and you can see the way that's working out. The goals against average is way, way down. Athletic director.
Northern Sky asks, FHM 9 is done with all updates now, right?
Oh, yeah, we're well into working on FHM 10 now.
Let's call it the next version of FHM.
You don't think it's going to be 10? Or you want to call it FHMX?
FHMX, or we could call it FHM 360. And then, the next one can be the XFHMX. No, you don't like that joke? Or FHM Series X?
Gonna shuffle the lines a little bit here maybe and take Zap out for 1 game and put him in with Kaplan, who's been a bit of a harmony issue. Now it's cleared up now, but
Northern Sky, when have we not added something new?
And 4-1 win over Michigan State. Good. I mean, every year we get to say we get the complaints. This is just a roster update. The ironic thing is they're making the same complaint over again. They just update the year they complain in.
I mean, it's not like we're playing a brand new league that wasn't available in the previous version of FHM, Jeff, right now.
True. Yeah, not like there's likely to be another brand new league available next year. In 10, I mean.
We're making up a brand new league. Sweet.
You could do that already. Custom mode. And game 2, I'll give reserves to start it again. I hope he doesn't blow this. And oh, nice, 5-2 win. And William Arlick, who hadn't done much so far, gets a hat trick for a star.
And Northern Sky is getting a little defensive. I've never said that. We didn't say you necessarily.
No, it's sort of the generic criticism you see in the Steam page or on Reddit, somebody always comes up with it, and then if somebody else points the whole list of stuff that we've changed in the off seasons. I mean, we're basically the everything. I mean, there's a lot of database work, but that's the smaller part of it compared to what we're spending time on.
We're not upset about those comments at all. You know what, Jeff? Somebody asked this. I'm going to ask this live because I don't remember. But they asked on our Discord channel. Nope, that's not the right Discord thing. Somebody asked. They noticed that the FastSpring version has the quotes versus the Steam version.
The short answer is we don't know why it does that. They're supposed to be in the Steam version too, but for some reason they don't show up properly. I think Sebastian was going to look at it at some point, and don't know if he did or not, but we couldn't get it figured out. But it's just you're not really missing anything in Steam. It's just when there's a delay in the game, like a loading screen or something, it'll show up, show some famous hockey quotes. Like, well, Out of the Park does the same thing with baseball, and it shows up in the FastSpring version fine, but for some reason it doesn't show up in the Steam version. And
yeah, I said. I think
sure why.
I said to someone, I'm like, I'm pretty sure there was a reason. I don't remember. Oh, Jeff, speaking of which,
and 5-3
think
loss
things
to
that
Ohio State. That's not great. Go ahead.
came out, the Mighty Ducks revealed their new 30th jersey today.
New in quotation marks.
Did you see this beautiful thing?
Haven't seen a picture yet, but I heard they're bringing back the old school Mighty Ducks Disney logo.
They are bringing, well, okay, first off, it's not quite that. They're bringing back the original colors, so it's going with the purple and a little bit of teal and white. Yeah. But the logo is a circular logo with Anaheim Ducks around it, and it features the angry duck, like their mascot, whose name is escaping me at this moment. It's his face in the middle.
I know the one you mean. Just making a couple changes here. Not happy with that result.
Wild Wing's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wild Wing's face is in the middle on that like slanted kind of angry. That looks like the Mighty Ducks cartoon that existed 25 years ago. It is a beautiful thing.
Okay, just making a couple of changes to the D here for game 2 after we dropped the first one pretty badly to Ohio State.
Northern Sky, you leave Paul Curry out of this. He needs his head on straight, and he's doing pretty good.
And we lose in overtime to Ohio State, so both ends of that series. And they're the ones we're fighting with right now. Well, actually, Minnesota's up there too. So it's going to be a close race for first in the Big Ten. How about Steve Rukin? Nobody wants to bring back Steve Rukin?
Well, they need to bring back, wasn't Bure on that team too, Anaheim, for
Valerie
a little bit?
Bure briefly, yeah.
Yeah. P-Wog says we need an R-rated version of FHM with more fights, blood, swearing sounds, and bones breaking. P-Wog, I think you might be the only person who would buy that.
No, there's that one guy who keeps asking for a higher injury setting. He'd like that too.
That's true. Every injury is just your favorite rupture. What has happened? Everybody is just hurt.
Asking for more testicular-based injuries.
I'm out here trying to be classy, Jeff.
You put one injury like that in the injury database, it's all people talk about.
And this guy, LOL, is there a Steam game for that? What do you mean for in terms of like more injuries?
There is a Steam game for that. There's I can't remember the name of it. It's a sort of
tape to tape. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah,
of?
that's one.
And I mean, if you want to go further back, you need to go track down a copy of Mutant League.
Mutant League. There's one other one too. What was it? Something.
Are you thinking of the title game? Hit the Ice?
It has ice in the title, but I don't think that's it.
Well, that was a great game because then you got to play with uh, they ripped off a bunch of players with Dickie Moore and Phil Esposito. Phil Bunger. That was the name of the guy. Phil Bunger.
And having even the early EA games where you could beat Gretzky bloody.
Oh, when the ambulance would come out onto the ice.
Still not sure how they got away with that with the license.
Different times, Jeff. Different times. By '94, that was all cleaned up.
Yep, I think that was the first. I think the first EA hockey I played was 95, 95 or 96.
Wow, really? Okay, I was playing way before that. '93 was the first officially licensed one, but it was NHLPA hockey, and then NHL '94 was the fully licensed one. That's why. That's why, because it was NHLPA '93, which is why the league didn't have protection in for that stuff.
So the PA is just fine with Gretzky being beaten half to death, but
Yeah. Well, my favorite part is like people go, "Why don't you rate guys lower?" I'm like, "Well, did you play NHL '94 where there was like guys rated who like 6 overall?"
okay. Oh, the Carson sign-off is away at the World Juniors, and 2 games so far, 1 assist, and we're beaten playing for the U.S. and beating the Czechs and the Slovaks, and we are down to number 6 after that mediocre series against Ohio State, behind Minnesota, but still ahead of Ohio State somehow. Sorry, the Ohio State University.
Ohio State.
And
Very important. Is Callum Ritchie anybody's son? I have to look.
Not sure.
Let's check Elite Prospects.
Juggle lines a bit for the Ferris State game. Easy 6-1 win. That's good. Go stick with 3 points and first star.
I guess the correct answer is yes, he is somebody's son.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's generally how it works, yeah. Growing in a lab.
Not seeing anything pop up here.
And U.S. beating Switzerland, too. I'll take a stick look at that tournament in a sec. Player poll. Did any of our guys get mentioned? Absolutely none of them. And
Pewog is unhappy that Adam Fantilli fell to Columbus.
Yep, that's. I mean, I would not have taken Carlson with that second pick.
I don't hate that pick, but I was surprised they didn't take Fantilli. I was surprised Reinbacher went as high as he did, and then I don't know what Arizona's.
The thing is, with Reinbacher, he's argued. You'd make a pretty good argument. He's the best defenseman in the draft. It just wasn't a draft for defenseman. So if you really want a defenseman, that's who you take. I would be fine if the Canucks taking him.
It seems like a reach at 5 is all what I'm saying.
And Canada and the U.S. undefeated so far at the World Juniors.
How much do you think Washington was salivating at the thought of Michnikov falling to 8?
Not as much as I was, hoping he'd make it to 11.
He was never going to get past Washington.
And 5-2 win over Yale. We're in that one part of the season where you don't have to play a 2-game series on the weekends. It's the Christmas holidays. And Isaac Novak with 3 points to the graduating senior.
I was Carolina just took the guy from the BCHL.
Which one?
Bradley Nadeau.
First round done now, or who'd the Leafs take?
No, couple left. The Leafs took Easton Cowan.
Okay, development report. So these first guys will be the ones that aren't with us yet. Our guys in red. Novak, now he starts to develop when he's on his way out. but a few others coming along. Oh, Simon 3 points. Good.
Okay, Top Down Hockey on Twitter. Leafs forever select Easton Cowan 28th. I ranked him 109th overall. Cowan is a small forward who played most of his D1 in the Go JHL and then scored well under a point per game in the OHL in his draft year.
No.
Players with this profile rarely get selected in the first round.
Go JHL. What? Can't remember what league that is. It's not the Golden Horseshoe League.
You want me to look this up right now? Okay, yeah. I will.
But anyhow, we're at the verbal commitment stage, so we can see what recruits we get. Well, a couple of years down the road, this will be for most of them.
Right, Greater Ontario.
Oh, I was right. Huh.
You said Golden Horseshoe.
No, I thought I said Greater Ontario first, and I thought, no, that's not right, but it was right.
Actually, I saw a comment here on Minnesota's pick, and that was not a very well-liked one either.
Yeah, it was Charlie Stramel, the guy that we had in this game that didn't really work out.
Yep. So. He's big. Oh, yeah, here it is from Top Down Hockey. I ranked him 51st overall. This is a big guy was the first thing Brian Boucher said about him. That's not something you want from any pick, let alone a first-round pick. Still a decent prospect, but his scoring was disappointing.
Okay, so again, it's partly because of the way the initial database was. The Wisconsin guys are not particularly deep, one or two borderline prospects, and we are drafting first again. Oh, geez, what did I do that for? I screwed up. I meant to click filter, and I clicked AI nomination again.
Oops.
Well, that was dumb. And it took Freddie Cunningham. At least he's a decent player from the USNTDP. Where is he from? New York City. Hey. Looks super soft. Offensive, I don't know if that's going to work out very well. That was dumb. That was really dumb.
So, Jeff, actually speaking of this, I was listening
before that.
Listening to the NHL Network, and they brought up a stat that I always find is interesting when we have people talk about draft classes. It said historically of every single NHL player who's been drafted, I think it was 49% have played one game in the NHL.
Say it again?
49% of all players drafted have played one game in the NHL.
That seems high.
No, that's what I said.
I have to look it up. I am going to try to steal a forward from somebody here, I think. We'll see when we get one nominated. Okay, 15-year-old from Detroit. Michigan is going to try to get him, so let's try to steal him. Looks fairly impressive. See if we can get him. Nope, he went to Michigan, but I'm going to keep trying to steal somebody to make up for that stupid
mistake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that PWAG. That's why I asked you about the draft. I didn't know you hadn't seen that yet.
Okay,
Axel Sandin Pelika.
Yeah, probably the third best defenseman, Pelika.
I don't think it's a bad pick. I just, all the analytics guys tell you consistently that size doesn't matter on defensemen. And, I like believing that. I want to believe that. But at the same time and time again, we have seen Stanley Cup winners have big guys on defense. Like, what did Vegas have this year? They had a bunch of big guys on defense. So, can you have some small guys? Probably, but you need some bigger guys too to balance it out.
Okay. Last kid that we've got no scouting on at all, but let's try to grab him. But now he's going to Canadian. So, okay, I'm just going to stick with I'm not getting these guys. So let's be a little more careful this time around. And you can see we're still kind of thin on the American prospects. Although we do have 3 pretty good goalies, but again, goalie is not really a problem for us. A 16-year-old. Still would like the scouting to be a little bit better here. It's not... well, we've got 4 potential guys. Rated 5-star. I'm going to go with this 16-year-old defenseman.
Pewug says height 5'11", weight 180 seems small. I said, well, that's what I said. Like, I don't know how much I believe it, and I kind of want to believe in best skill, but at the same time, like, statistically, it's hard to ignore, despite the fact that's why not everything advanced stats are good, but they're not the be all end all. I do like Pittsburgh's draft day so far. I will say that, getting Jaeger and then adding Riley Smith from Vegas.
And in Chicago, aside from getting Bedard, they also got what's his name, Moore, I think. Who should have gone in the top 10,
yeah.
And he dropped down quite a bit, so they did great.
I don't know if he should have won in the top 10, but they were talking about the Jets could possibly take him too. Or I saw him to the Jets a lot on a lot of mock drafts.
And
Colorado just took a Russian defenseman, Mikhail Gulyayev.
Gulyayev. Oh, he went that far down. Okay, that's...
Okay, yeah.
Or actually, no, it's still the first round, so that's reasonable. Pretty good. And... yeah, see, I've got no scouting on these guys at all. Joe Strambinski. Good hockey name.
That's a great hockey name.
Anybody with higher...
Sort by height. Sort by height.
We got a 6'7" guy. But you also just
goaltender,
said
wow.
the height doesn't matter, so we also got 5'6" guys. Is he a goalie? He is a goalie. Only half star potential, though.
Yeah, scroll down a little bit. On the height guy.
Wow, 5'10", 100. God, these guys are kind of underweight.
What? Wow, 19 years old and he's only 116 pounds?
They'll fill out
Yes.
eventually. What did you want me to look at on the height?
Look at height and then just scroll down a little bit.
Until I find somebody that's...
I'm just curious what... Right there, past 2.5-star guy.
Yeah, Levi. Yeah, sure.
All right, P-Wog, thanks for coming up. We currently are streaming live, by the way, on our Steam page on twitch.tv/franchise hockey manager and twitch.tv/OOTB developments. And I'm bouncing back and forth trying to watch everybody, see if people are posting in different chats.
Yeah, there's still kind of under-scouted. There's an issue I finally figured out with the way the scouting works for college teams. That will get fixed in the, I guess, FHM 10. It's not... it should be trimming the list of scouting targets a bit better than it is, or at least so it's relevant to college teams, but it's looking at everybody, even the ones that are headed to junior, so that's limiting the number of college players it looks at. Trevor Lushko, was a Todd Lushko that was sort of a fringe minor league NHL guy. Maybe they're related. And we're down to the 1-star guys, so... $6'4", 209, why not? And just out of curiosity, are any of the super underweight guys? No, none of them are that good. Should probably grab a goalie here, though.
The 6'7" guy?
Well, we're going to go with the 5'8" goalie.
Oh, so we're going for Darren Pang. Okay.
Yeah, so he lets in a few goals over his head. And again, these are just verbal commitments. And monthly budget can stay as it is. So these guys are promising to come to us. But so go ahead.
Last pick in the first round is David Edstrom. Frölunda, Sweden under-20 league
Okay.
in Vegas.
Decent group of recruits. Let's see what they look like when I get them into the... or should probably sort that by age. So Cunningham, at least the guy we picked is scouted fairly accurately. The guy the AI picked for us, scouted fairly accurately, and does have legit 5-star potential.
Well, that's good.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing I didn't take a goalie because we got another 5-star guy coming. He's only 16. But our 5'8" goalie isn't much of a prospect, but it looks like pretty much the rest all could potentially play for us. And if you haven't seen the game before, basically the way college recruitment works is there's a couple of sort of pseudo drafts where teams nominate a player, but they don't necessarily get that player that they nominate. Every other team can compete for them, and it's in the verbal commitment stage where the players are just making a promise to attend the program. It's relatively easy to hang on to the players you're selecting. It gets a little more complicated when you get around to National Signing Day in November, which is when you actually sign them for the upcoming season, and you have to offer them, or well, you can offer them scholarships, partial scholarships, and so on. So if you've got a guy that's verbally committed to you, but you don't offer him a scholarship, he may wind up going somewhere else. Or even if you do offer him a scholarship, he may wind up going somewhere else if he likes to see their program better since the time he made the commitment. You do get a big advantage because he's made the verbal commitment to you, but it's not a sure thing. And conference update. Yep, reasonably happy, good enough. Players switching nationalities, basically just lower level guys in most countries. That's odd, a couple of guys. That's not supposed to happen, guy. Oh, new nationalities. I'm thinking of changing their primary nationalities. No, this is fine. These are just guys who've picked up a new nationality after playing in a country for a while. So, Icelandic guy getting Canadian citizenship. Okay, and back to the regular season. We're still going in the World Juniors. Yep, Canada and the US and Finland all still undefeated. And 3-1 win over Maine in the first game. Sam Michel is the first star.
Yes.
Getting a couple of points up on Minnesota, although they've got a game in hand. Rivera's has dropped out of the goals against average leaders. And Sam Michel leading the country in assists. And in the top 10 for scoring, too. And San Luis tied for the goal lead. Pretty good performance for two freshmen. Even if San Michel is kind of elderly for a freshman. And may have a little bit of time off here. So first round is done now, Adam, in the real draft?
Yes, first round is done.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get Bedard, but I think the Canucks did reasonably well out of that. We filled the need. Now let's see what they do after this. College hockey poll. Oh, we're up to number 2 after winning a couple of games. Nice. Steinhoff in a 2-1 win over Finland at World Juniors. And no points, but a good game against Latvia. And they must be into the playoffs. Well, 3 assists and a 5-2 win over the Czechs. Also, Canada USA final in the World Juniors. Canada crushing Finland 9-0, and US beating Czechs 5-2. Who's on Team
Oh.
Canada? Any recognizable names?
We're at a point where we should kind of almost be doing all fictional.
Nope. McKenna real, Rubrek real.
Yeah.
Moran is real.
Coots. There's Coots.
Zarkix, I think he's real. And yeah, pretty impressive team. I mean, these guys are all 5 stars already by college standards. Does the U.S. team look like that? A little few. Ooh, bad goaltending on the American team.
Well, Canada had a 2-star guy too, so.
They were the backup, so they had a 5-star. I think they had a 5-star, 4-star. Cohen Cleaver, Lethbridge of the WHL.
That is a great name.
He drafted 4th rounder by the Flyers and signed to them too. But, okay, still no Steinhoff. Shuffling the lines around a little bit. I'm going to give Veris the start there. Yeah, 7-0 win over Penn State. Gosick with 3 points. Yeah, the first line again. San Luis with 3 points as well. And it's the first game back, and now San Luis in the top 8 for scoring again. And we should be seeing a Canada-US World Junior result soon. But not yet, apparently. And another shutout, 4-0 for Elias. And Mellenbacher finally does a little bit of scoring, 3 points. And when we get Steinhoff back, I'll juggle the lines around a little bit more because I was playing a few guys to get them some playing time. But we are tied for first on top of the Big Ten with 1 game in hand over Michigan, and oh no, we're 5 points up. What was I looking at? I was looking at goals for. And also 6 points up on Minnesota, so we're opening up a little bit of space there. And 12 wouldn't know at home. I'm just going to take a quick look around the league. See if anything unusual is going on. Wow, 1-14-1 for Union. Miami 16-2-2, a little better than us.
That's a bad college record though for Union.
Yeah, wow. Union College, they got no goaltending at all. Halverson and Prokofiev. Russian and a Swede, and neither one of them is better than half a star, and they got nobody better coming in either. They've had no luck at all recruiting goalies. Yeah, one good player, Emery, defenseman, E.J. Emery. But can't really carry the team like that. Captain's not too bad, but he'd be a third liner with us. And we're finally done with the World Juniors. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, 2-1 win, U.S. over Canada. And, oh, Carson Steinhoff with the winning goal. With a minute and 8 seconds left.
Wow.
99 defense. Wow, great game for him. So his stock's probably going way up, and he may be leaving after this season now. But we get him back. We'll get a full lineup. Nobody injured. Looks like we're in great shape. So naturally now things will start to fall apart like they did last year. And it was last year. We lost Celebrini for the playoffs, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah,
Just before the playoffs, I
just
think.
before the playoffs, when I probably should have been resting him. Played him anyhow. He got hurt and got annoyed with us apparently and decided to leave Philadelphia in the offseason.
Well, you paid him in a meaningless game and he got hurt. Yeah.
I think it still might have been for placement in the conference. It wasn't totally meaningless. And just if you haven't seen this before, the way college hockey works is for most of the season is the games are just on home back-to-back game on Friday and Saturday night, so the players can go to school
Class.
normally through the week. One exception with that around the middle of the year, but for the most part, you got these either a 5-day gap with no games or longer if you got the week off. And new poll, we should be top 3. Yep, number 2 behind Miami of Ohio. And what's going on with them? Again, bad. Oh, they got a decent goalie, Hayden. He's the starter, but still not fantastic. Wow, really good winger. So he a senior? Yeah, fortunately he's a senior. He'll be gone after this year, but 35 points in 22 games, and oh yeah, a whole bunch of couple of junior centers. Yeah, that's a lot of scoring on this team. I think we can beat them now. Okay, let's redo this lineup. Addition out.
You think you can win. That's a dangerous thought.
Well, I wasn't sure heading into the season. Give Atkinson another try. His Captain's still not doing much when I put him in. Novak. Yeah, Novak can play the left wing, so try Mellenbacher on the right wing. See if he finally picks up playing in that spot. Up against Minnesota, fairly big game, and a 2-0 win.
Nice.
Oh, was there an injury there? I think I missed a delayed treatment option. Click too fast. Oh, ruptured MCL, indefinite. Okay, so much for switching spots for Novak. Ruptured MCL, indefinite. It's January. He's a graduating senior. What's going on with Buckberg? Okay, just growing tightness day to day. You can sit out. That's fine. I guess I might as well delay treatment on Novak because I don't think he's going to be making it back before the playoffs otherwise. And we're going to lose him after this season anyhow, so there's no real downside if I screw him up permanently with another injury.
Wow. Just need to make sure you're watching his level.
Yeah, I'm going to have to back him off a little bit. But he's 90% for this one, so it should be fine there. Buck River has to come out for Shin. And Minnesota beats us 5-1 in the second game, so we split the series with them. and stay 2 points on top of them. And although they're catching up a little bit in the Big Ten, as is Michigan. And Ohio State's creeping up too. It'll be a fairly tight race for first in the conference and top seed in the conference tournament. Buttburger's almost ready. We dropped down to 4th in the rankings after that loss. Still in pretty good shape. Buttburger is almost ready. I think we got time for at least one more series here before we go. And is he healthy? He is healthy. Going to push Novak down to the 4th line and cut his minutes down a little bit. Is it 80%? Shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. 7-1 win over Penn State. Gosick with 3 points, Epperson with a couple, Lindstrom with a couple. First 2 lines all getting an out. And outshot him 40-20. Good game. Although Penn State's having a pretty bad season, now to look at it. Wow, minus 52 goal differential in 27 games. So they're losing their typical game by 2 goals.
Ouch.
And yeah, see, Novak's health is staying up there at 80. It's the one nice thing about this college schedule. It's you're not going to get 3 games in 4 nights or anything like that. It's a little less strenuous. And easy 6-1 win over Wisconsin. Will scan the first star. And we got another bigger lead again on top of the Big Ten. 5 points over Ohio State. And yeah, goalies are number 1 and 3 in goals against average. So going with the more conservative tactical strategies seems to be working out for us, particularly with a younger team. And maybe we got time to get another series in. So we've got the goals leader and we've got the assist leader, but we got nobody in the top 8 in scoring. As apparently San Luis and San Michel are doing everything by themselves. And it pretty much entirely consists of San Michel passing to San Luis. Another development report. Okay, Milosevic, one of the new guys we picked. Where is the accident? That's not good. Freddie Cunningham. You only gained 1 point. And scan up to 5 stars. Nice. San Luis continuing to improve. Same with San Michel. And Elias is the NCAA goalie of the month.
Patrick?
Rostislav. Poll says back to second in the country. And the athletic director is still happy with us.
Huh. It was on this day exactly 29 years ago that Radek Bonk went 3rd overall.
And his son got picked today.
Yeah.
Not quite as high.
Okay, here you go, Jeff. Who was this first and second overall pick that year?
Bonk. Wait.
Blanc went third.
Drawing a blank.
Former Vancouver Canuck, number 1, Mr. Ed Jovanovski.
Well, not a Canucks pick, but former Canuck. Canucks didn't pick him.
Number 2 was the guy who got traded for Timo Solani. Oleg Trevordowski. Okay, better yet, Jeff, can you name picks 9 and 10 in that draft?
No idea.
One is a former Canuck.
5-1 win over Michigan State. And we'll get one more in to close this out.
I'll give you a hint. Former Canuck and then became a Canucks coach who got fired.
It wasn't Linden. It was the GM who didn't really get fired. Kind of left on his own.
Former Manitoba Moose person as well. Pick 10 was Nolan Baumgartner.
Yep, that didn't really work out so well.
I still like Nolan Baumgartner.
Yeah,
But pick number
number
9.
10 overall. And we've lost Scahan day to day. Hip flexor. That will let me put in Duchesne for this last game. And actually, I'm going to give a game here to the goalie we redshirted last year, Cam. Let him play the second half of the Michigan State series. Just to get his first college game in, and he comes up with a 5-3 win. Well, we only gave them 15 shots, so not that spectacular, but win's a win.
Oh. All right.
Okay.
Pick number. Sorry.
Good.
You guys say pick number 9 went to the Islanders and was a brother of a famous hockey player. In '94.
Was that Brett Lindros?
It was Brett Lindros. Yes. Yep. There you go. You got one.
Wound up retiring early because of concussions. Seems to run in the family.
So you want me to wrap up?
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up now. We'll because I'm not going to get another. Almost, I want to save a few games in here just because in case we crash and burn in the playoffs, we're going to have not much of a stream next time, but because we're coming up on playoffs.
That's never happened. But all right. So thank you very much for tuning into the Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments, and every other week on our Steam page. We are also, or you can find our streams archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, with the archives going live on Sundays at about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey. You can also find our official Discord in our Twitter bio. And of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner to find our official forums. You can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, next week we'll be back with some Columbus game.
Yep, you're what year are we in now? Mid 2000s?
We are in 2004. We are in the lockout year.
So it won't actually be locked out all year. We will be playing games as if the...
Nope.
Okay, you're just going to...
We have 1 year left to try and get something done. We have 1 year left to try and get something done before we're going to have to blow up the team.
Because you screwed up the incoming cap, haven't you?
I didn't do anything.
It'll be fun to deal with that when we get around to it. I want to see how you have to pare your roster down because I think you're already over what the first year 2005 cap will be. And you got a bunch of re-signings to do before then. So this team is going to need some rebuilding before, or that team will need some rebuilding before you.
We'll get it figured out.
Okay, but yeah, just looking at this, everything coming along here, a couple of minor injuries. Well, Novak's is a major injury, but he's playing through it, and his fitness is holding up reasonably well so far, although he's down on the fourth line now.
Excellent.
Ratty finally scored some goals. That's good. But other than that, season's going better than I expected it to. Without losing... Oh, that's what I wanted to do. How are the guys who left us doing? Celebrini played a little bit in the AHL, but he's back up with the Flyers now. 14 points in half a season. Not terrible, not great. And the other guys, let's see, Stramel, who was just drafted in real life, is actually playing for the Wings. Not off to a bad start, better than his college career went. Colin Robotham, like the fourth or fifth string goalie, he's done, probably not going to play again. Ben Dexheimer, decent defenseman for us, and off to a good start with Rockford. Is he signed directly to them? Yeah, he had a tryout with the Leafs, failed that, and wound up signing with Rockford to the AHL, and he's having a pretty good first year there. So he may yet wind up in the AHL. Tyson Jugnoth I remember him. He was Seattle drafted him, signed him, and then immediately traded him right after the signing to the Bruins. And wow, 10 points in 15 games. Although he's back down in the AHL now, but pretty good. Although he was -8 in those 15 games. So all offense, no defense, but decent start to his pro career. And the other guys who didn't get signing, Robbie Newton has retired from hockey already. Cruz Lucius playing in beer leagues after... Oh no, he's looks like he was... Was he signed by the Chicago Bulls? Oh yeah, no, he's bouncing around the AHL and ECHL. So it doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere. Jack Horbach, full season in the ECHL. So a few of our guys are doing reasonably well. But anyhow, we will be back next week with Adam's stream. And with Columbus, should point out tomorrow that, I don't know if I'm technically supposed to say this, but it is the... I can't say there's a Steam sale starting tomorrow, but I think it's pretty much known at this point. So
there's a sale tomorrow. That's all important.
Yeah. So yet another sale because we just finished up the playoff sale. The sale timing worked out really weird this year. Sorry about that. But it so if you haven't got the game yet, still I think the Steam sale, if that's indeed what it is, will be lasting a couple of weeks, and you'll have a chance to pick up the game there.
Again, we're currently recording this on June 28th, 2023. So if you're watching it after that, then you'll know why.
And if the Steam Summer Sale, if there was one, would probably run out sometime in the middle of July. So thanks everybody for coming out, and we will see you back here a week from now.